Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about a topic that is absolutely insane, and that is the fact that Javier Milei is trying to aim for the free market of currencies. Now, this is big news, guys, because this is a true libertarian's dream, to not have to be told you have to use this or that, or you need to use this peso by government decree. No, now you can literally use whatever currency or money or unit of account that you want. So I'll go over the quote, and you guys could let me know what you think. And that is, he said there will be free competition of currencies. So if you want to use Bitcoin, there will be no problems. Also, you can use other units such as WTI, which stands for West Texas Intermediate, or BTU. And it also said, and one of the most appropriate for your business. So if there's another one, like, I'm just giving an example, dollars, silver, gold, dollar derivatives, whatever it may be, he says you can use it as long as it's appropriate for your business. So he mentioned in accounting terms, it is actually solved by the functional currency method. And guys, some of what he says actually goes a lot above my head because he's an economist and he understands a lot of the deep lingo and language surrounding it. But I want to talk about here the core of what he's really driving at. So we are in the future in Argentina likely going to see the free competition of currencies. And as we know, if there's a free competition of currencies, which currency will win? Which money will win? And it's actually a beautiful thing to see play out because I don't know. Will Bitcoin? Will the peso? Will the dollar? Will maybe shares of Tesla that can be divided into a unit of account take place? I don't know. But we're going to see that play out. And it's my hope that we see Bitcoin as the unit of account and what really takes the lead. But in the end, it's a free market, right? We'll see what happens. So as all of us are aware, and many of us are aware, Javier Milei is a libertarian. So he's letting things play out as they do. Libertarians are for free markets. They're not for government intervention. They want things to go as they are. And whatever happens, happens. So the cool thing about the free market is they're going to use what they see fit the best. So I think like we're currently in the situation where, there could be a situation where I want to spend in silver, but the vendor only will take US dollars in Argentina, right? So if this situation happens, the transaction won't be able to go through, right? They need to be willing to take my silver coins and I need to be willing to pay them in those silver coins. So it's up to the individual transaction. It's up to the use case of the individual or the community. Maybe certain communities, certain cities in Argentina will be Bitcoin, certain ones will be silver, certain ones will be gold. And we'll see that kind of trickle throughout the country, right? I think that would be pretty cool to see because then you have all these little experiments. Look at what the gold city is doing. Look at what the silver and the palladium and the Bitcoin. We'll also see the shitcoin community too, where they have Cardano and Ethereum, I'm sure. But essentially, what we want to see is we want to see these experiments happen because we've never seen this before. And it would be beautiful to watch unfold. So I think also with this, barter could occur. And the cool thing is, as we know with Javier Milei, there won't be taxes. So he's really, really driving at this free market, low taxation, do as you please, libertarian dream. And I can't wait to see that happen because, guys, I subscribe to the Austrian school. I'm a Bitcoiner, but I'm also someone who likes hard money, right? And if there's people out there that aren't on board with Bitcoin or silver or any of these hard monies, I at least want you to at least think about things from a different perspective. So I think barter would be pretty cool as well. Now, this is an extremely friendly place for Bitcoin, and I'm hopeful that we see more Bitcoin communities kind of get created. I'm surprised right now we don't see that many things occurring in Argentina surrounding Bitcoin. I think the previous administration was very anti-Bitcoin, so I think it they're kind of a little bit behind in terms of adoption, circular economies, education, all that. But hey, we don't know. Things may change in the future. Things may move into the right direction from a Bitcoin adoption standpoint. So, the biggest hurdle here in the United States for Bitcoin is taxation, right? I don't want to go spend my Bitcoin and then have to go pay all these little taxes, right? And even if I were to do that, other people won't want to either. And people aren't set up with the right rails and the right education and the right knowledge about how it works. So when they have to convert it to essentially their US dollars or their currency of choice, it's too complicated. They just want that frictionless experience. So I think pesos and dollars, I think we may see more money move from the peso to the dollar. Even though the peso's inflation rate has come down, I think people are still going to be leveraging the dollar. I know Peter McCormick was recently there, and he leveraged US dollar stable coins over Tron. He didn't say it as a shitcoin, or he said this is what they're doing over there, right? And I think it's good to keep an open mind. What are they actually doing, right? I know a lot of Bitcoiners that have never been to El Salvador. What are they actually doing there, right? That is an important question to ask, because you can live in a bubble, or you can actually fly over there and see what's actually happening on the ground. And you got to address the real situations, the real problems of the individuals, not just say, oh, Bitcoin's the only way, Bitcoin is the end all be all. No, if we want Bitcoin to succeed, we need to see it to that, and we need to educate others on how it works. Now, Bitcoin as a currency is an interesting subject, because technically Bitcoin is a very, very hard money, right? And if Bitcoin is a hard money, according to Gresham's law, the bad money will chase out the good money, meaning people are going to, I hope I said that right, but essentially what this means, though, Gresham's law, is that if you have $200 and you have a $125 transaction, and you have $100 in US dollars, $100 in Bitcoin, you're going to spend the $100 of dollars first and then $25 of Bitcoin, not the other way around. This is because people want to spend the worst money. Why would you spend Bitcoin when it's deflationary in nature, when you could spend dollars, which is inflationary in nature, meaning you're being debased through your dollar, you're not being debased through your Bitcoin. So per Gresham's law, I think if Bitcoin were a currency, I think it would do decently. I think there's a lot of good Lightning networks and stuff like that out there, but I don't know how much it would be adopted or not adopted. I don't know if it would be transacted with as much as some of these crappier currencies, because crappier currencies, you want to get rid of them, right? And so if you always spend your crappiest currency, and that's kind of how Gresham's law works, is if you have 15 currencies, you'll get rid of your worst. You'll get rid of all the way down to your worst one. Once when you get rid of all your bad currencies, then you'll get rid of your valuable stuff, your gold, your silver, your Bitcoin. So he also mentioned something interesting, and it was about halfway through the quote, and he said, and you can also use other units such as WTI and BTU. So I think BTU stands for British Thermal Units, which is interesting. WTI, West Texas Intermediate. That's like saying to his population, hey, you can literally price and buy things with shares of WTI. And maybe not just shares. If you have physical, like a bottle of WTI, you can give it to someone and it will be your currency. So I think that's really cool that he's like thinking beyond just the traditional currency, the traditional money, the traditional crypto or Bitcoin. He's saying, hey, you can leverage any avenue at all, and you can use it. And I think the cool thing is this. We all know the best properties of money, right? It needs to be portable, divisible. It needs to be something that is scarce. It needs to be divisible, and it needs to be, it just needs to be something that has a lot of scarce, permissionless, and potentially deflationary properties. And there's a whole list of the most important characteristics. But essentially, the cool thing about this is we're not going to be in a situation now where a money is just going to succeed just because of decree. It literally needs to have good properties. So if pricing things in WTI or BTU doesn't work out, guess what? It's not going to be a good currency, and people are naturally not going to use it, right? But if you have Bitcoin or you have dollars, and let's just say dollars are great, guess what? It's a free market. Use dollars, right? The free market will correct itself. And that is the true beauty in all of this, because you can't say one thing's better than another because it's a free market. Let the free market speak. And if the free market says something and you don't agree with it, then you're arguing against, a population of 100+ million people, right? And so that's the true beauty behind all this. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, I think. And one thing, guys, I wanted to give you the rest of the properties, and that is medium of exchange, fungible, portable, unit of account. It has durability, store of value, limited supply, and scarcity. So I just didn't want to leave that out. I think those are pretty important properties, and the best monies do have those properties. Now, the next thing is this. I think we're seeing the pendulum go fully in the other direction, and that is we're seeing the exact opposite happen now of what Argentina did in the past. Think about it. Argentina had a history of high inflation and economic instability, right? And with this, they really suffered, guys. I mean, they've lived through a period of 50, 60 years or more of just pure hard times, where they would print money and then they would misallocate the capital. And if you just look at the architecture of Argentina, it's so beautiful. You can tell that it started off as a pretty wealthy country in the early 1900s. And through government intervention and through stimulus and money printing and socialism, you can just see that get eroded over time. So now we're at this point where things are starting to go in the opposite direction. And I think this is exactly what we need for Argentina to succeed: a lower inflation rate, less intervention, cutting out the bureaucracy, and allowing individuals to choose how they want to spend their money and in which way. So the last thing, and I really quickly wanted to call this out, he said, the free competition of currencies, it will be solved by the functional currency method. And I've never heard of this, but I looked it up. And the functional currency method on translating dozens of currencies in a distilled way for a comprehensive way of understanding the financial health of things. Essentially what this is saying is, what it really is trying to say is that you can transact in all these different currencies, and it will essentially be able to roll up, and it'll be able to speak through the Argentine peso or the US dollar. And you can transact in silver, gold, whatever. I mean, think about it. Everything can be converted nowadays. Everything can be converted from one currency or one money or one asset to another. So now you can just have the functional currency method kind of be the roll-up, meaning let's just see how everything's going through one currency or another currency or another currency. It doesn't matter. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. I'm very excited. I think Javier Milei is doing a really good job for the country. And I think at the end of the day, we're in a situation where we need to see more of this in the United States. I'm supportive. I want to go to Argentina to see this play out. I think this free competition of currencies is going to be a perfect case of, in the future, what does the population want in a money? And what does the population want in a currency? Those are two separate things, but whatever they do decide in Argentina, it's going to be a beautiful thing, because I think it will help us understand what should we do for the rest of the world, potentially. And I guarantee you, none of them will want a CBDC, and none of them are going to want a situation where they have a fiat dollar, fiat Japanese yen, etc., depreciating 30, 40, 50% a year when the government says it's only depreciating 3, 5, 10% a year. Anyways, guys, I really enjoyed this one. Be sure, actually, guys, if you could, I'm on storm.pub now, and please be sure to watch these videos on there. I'm going to be posting them everywhere on YouTube, Spotify, you name it. I got the API set up everywhere. But any support is appreciated. I want to keep dishing out the best content for you guys. It's my aim to have guests on in the next couple months, and I really enjoy putting these together and giving you guys the best content. This is my passion. This is my love, and I love being here for you guys and helping support my journey. Be sure to share it around, like it, do your thing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.